Hello and welcome to this video with Tanmere Rovers show. Today I'm going to be talking about the 23-24 season, my opinions and my thoughts on how it's gone. Sit back, relax and enjoy. Remember to like and subscribe. As you can see by the form on the left hand side, we started off the season pretty poorly. Before the form that you see on the left hand side, there was the pre-season games where we eked out a 0-0 draw to Vauxhall Motors FC. We lost to Southport via an own goal from our own player. And then we started off the league really poorly with a 2-1 defeat to Barrow. And then our first away game of the season following shortly after a brilliant performance against Barnsley's B team where we win in the first round of the Carabao Cup. That first away game against MK Dons was a brilliant performance. But unfortunately MK Dons came out on top. We did hit the bar and maybe we could have won the game, but a bit of shoddy defending led to us losing that game. All of us who have seen Tranmere play know that after an away game such as that, a good home performance is coming, and it did, and it came in the form of a 3-0 win over Harrogate Town, and what a performance it was. Shortly after, on the 19th of August, we played Salford City at home, and thanks to some dodgy refereeing decisions and some poor defending, we lost 4-3 to Salford City at home, which was the start of a really poor run of form. Those defeats just kept on coming, losing to Notts County away, losing to Leicester City's B team at home, losing to our big rivals Wrexham at home, losing away to a relegation Fleetwood side, and then the final straw for Ian Dawes being a 2-0 defeat away at Colchester. Prior to the first game of the season, Ian Dawes had never managed a game of professional football in the EFL before, so this appointment to the Tranmere fans was rather a shock, and to be fair, the run of form was to be expected. The promotion push that we were given to expect in the pre-season meeting with the manager, the owner and the technical director Nigel Adkins, we were promised promotion, and yet we were sat at the bottom of the table, even below the two teams that went down this season, Sutton and Forest Green. After Ian Dawes was sacked after the 2-0 defeat away at Colchester, Nigel Adkins was appointed as interim manager, obviously on an interim basis, to cover the team while there was a search for a new manager. During his time as interim, he picked up some valuable points, such as a 2-0 win over Accrington, or a 2-0 win over Bradford. A 2-1 win over Bradford, which were 6 very valuable 6 points. These 6 points turned out to be a turn in our form, and Christmas is when things started to really pick up. As you can see by our form over Christmas, especially starting on the 28th of November, we picked up the 12 points at Christmas. It started off by a brilliant performance with a 2-2 draw away at Mansfield, with a player sent off as well. Newport County at home turned out to be our first game in a significant amount of time, where we'd gone 1-0 down and managed to come back and win it. Despite losing to Walsall, it was a very, very good away performance, yet we still hadn't picked up 3 points on the road in the season. Swindon was almost a repeat of the Newport game, going down 1-0 to Swindon early on and then coming back to defeat Swindon late on. And then to top this all off, our first away win came at Salford, where we emphatically beat Salford 5-1. Maybe the scoreline flattered us, but what a performance it was. We continued this away form, having then beating Harrogate 2-0 away, and then on New Year's Day we beat Notts County 4-2, where we went 1-0 up, then Notts County got 2, and then we scored 3 to make it 4-2. At the start of the season we signed a player called Rob Apter. Under Ian Dawes he didn't get much game time, but as soon as Nigel Adkins came in, boy, was it a mistake Ian Dawes made. Especially in the second half of the season, when we got a loan extension for him from Blackpool. He excelled, especially against Notts County. After this good run over Christmas, Nigel Adkins set about improving the team instead of maybe pushing for the playoffs. Maybe had the form continued, we would have got there. Who knows, but maybe for next year. The form did falter slightly, losing a few games on the bounce, but that was quickly cut out by a 2-1 away win at victory, with a 2-1 away victory at Grimsby Town. Especially in the second half of the season after Christmas and New Year, the form was very inconsistent, but in this inconsistency came the three highlights of the season. These three highlights were a 2-1 win against league leaders Mansfield Town, a 4-0 victory over league leaders Stockport County, and a 1-0 away victory against Wrexham, our local derby. The Wrexham game was probably the best away game I've ever been to, and it will be a living memory for the rest of my life. Our last home game of the season came against Wimbledon after the announcement that the FA Cup replays had been scrapped. There was quite a lot of controversy, and Nigel Adkins and Nicola Palios were the first chairman and co-chairman of a club to make an announcement against this decision. Wimbledon then backed this up, and Tranmere did as well, at the last home game of the season, making multiple chants about the FA. Despite this, Tranmere managed to finish off the season with a home victory against Wimbledon. The last game of the season being a 4-1 defeat to Accrington, which of course had to happen. All in all, at the start of the season, when we were desperate for points in the relegation zone, it was almost like we were destined for relegation. Nigel Adkins has definitely come in and turned us around. I think Nigel Adkins, along with Rob Apter, have both single-handedly turned our season around, especially with the likes of Rob Apter and Connor Jennings being on the field. So that's what I think of our season. It's been up and down and up and down, inconsistent, but one thing's remained consistent: the fan base. The fans have been brilliant all season. We've had a few hiccups, there's been a few bad performances, but the fans have stuck by the club, and it's really happy. It was a really happy atmosphere, especially over Christmas, and the atmosphere generally on most games has been really good, and it's really nice to see. I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe. Let's see what happens next season. Goodbye.